Good morning, it's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself, and today I want to talk about the present moment and the work that we need to do in the present moment, because that is where your power is. Because there is no past, there is no future. The only moment that we have is now. And so yes, on this channel there is a lot of content on past work and future work. So past revision, past trauma work, inner child work, fragmentation work, shadow work, journaling. These are all examples of what we do when we're looking at our past traumas and we are trying to work with them. A memory from the past. We also do future creation work and manifestation and brain retraining and visualization and all the different techniques where we can do future creation work. Okay, both of those are super important and helpful, but only, and here's the key, here's what I want you to know, because if you don't know this, you don't understand healing work. Both of them are important, both of them are useful, both of them have healed people, both of them can heal people, depending on what techniques you're using and what work you're focusing on, but only as it relates back to your present moment. Because this is all we have, this is where we live, this is where our power is, this is where our mind, body, heart, and soul must be in alignment to live from our place of power, think the thoughts, feel the emotions, right? This is the place where mind, body, heart, and soul connect. The soul being the greater you, right? That is yourself. That is the true self. And when your mind and your heart and your body are all in alignment in the future, in the present, in the moment right now, in the moment that you are living and breathing right here, then you already are, you can be healed. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit further. Okay, so we do past work. We can look at memories. We can do past revisions. We can do journaling sessions on various traumatic events that have happened or things that have happened in the past. We can do shadow work, where we look at aspects of ourselves, that come up, that need to be integrated, that need to be part of the whole again. Right? We do fragmentation work, where we're seeing different pieces of ourselves based on what happened in the past. We can do inner child work, where we basically go back to that inner child, that child who was helpless in that situation, and we help them there, we soothe them there, we calm them there, okay? This is past techniques, past works to help you find a different way to see that past memory, to deal with the past, to feel about the past, to get closure, to have that soothing, to be heard, to be understood, to get what you didn't get, so that you can, because your power was stolen in past traumatic moments. And when you use these tools, you work to get it back. You work to get your power back. But often what happens, let's take example for inner child work, is that we go back to that time where we lost our power, where we felt helpless, hopeless, sad, angry, whatever it was, that memory was no good for us. And we bring our true self, our soul, back to that moment, and we, help that child. We say things to the child that would be soothing in that moment. We comfort that child, or we do revision. We try to work on that memory, or we journal about it, and we purge, and we try to release. There's all these different ways that we try to do it. But really, we don't want to keep going back to the past and reliving past that we don't like in the present moment. We want to ultimately bring that past version of ourselves, that inner child. We don't want to go back there and soothe it back there. Sure, it helps. It's good. We can do that. We need to do that. But we want to take that child by the hand and pull it into the future. We want to bring that child into the now, fully grown, fully standing in its own power. This is you now, in your power. You want to not just soothe that child back there and give it what it needed back then, and stay back there as the child, as the past version of you. You want to bring yourself into the present, grounded with the knowledge that you have power, that you are okay, that everything is okay, that is over, that you didn't lose your power. So that's why we do that work. We do the journaling, we do the inner child work, we do the past revision work, we do the memory work, we do the fragmentation work, we do all the work because we want to have that injured part of ourself feel like it's been heard, seen, validated. It has released what it needs to release because it has now got what it needed to get in that moment that it didn't get back then. And only you can give that to yourself. But you can't go back and, you can go back and play with memories and do all these things, but you can only give it to yourself now. So even if your mind is, okay, this is confusing, but stay with me. Even if your mind now is going back in a memory of the past and you're playing these roles out in the past to give your past self what it needed then, you're actually giving what you need to yourself now. By giving it then, like you're doing it, in this present moment, you're doing it. You're giving your past self what you needed. But you're really giving your grounded self now what you need. So by giving what you needed, you are in the moment. It may look like a visual of the past that you're going through, but you're actually just here right now in the present moment, giving yourself what you need. That's why trauma work is always a present moment healing work, because as triggers come up, and they will, these landmines of triggers, like that annoyed me, that frustrated me, that made me sad, that made me cry, that makes me feel hopeless and helpless, and all these things. We're walking around through our day and we have these emotional feelings. It's because something in the past isn't resolved. It's because the trauma is coming up now. We can always heal ourselves in the now because we have all these opportunities to give ourselves what we needed now. And sometimes it's helpful for people to go back and do past work so that they feel more resolved, but you don't have to do that. You can do it right here, right now, right? Take an example. You were hurt in the past. You felt abandoned in the past, okay? You can go back, you can do journaling, you can do your past revision work, you can do inner child work, you can give yourself the love and that connection that you needed back then. But you don't have to do that. You can just be right here, right now, and feeling a little bit sad or a little bit lonely and saying, I can give myself the love right now. I can give myself the connection right now. I can give myself what I need now, because it's always happening now. It's never about then. When you're thinking about then, it's happening now. Same with the future. We can do the visualization work. We can do the brain retraining and all these visualizations where we create the future self that we want to see, and we're vibrant and we're living into all these the senses of it, and we're imagining it. And this is good because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So this is helping pull you into that future, but it's happening now. We only do that future visualization work to raise our vibration in the now, right? And we continue to do that so that it helps to elevate us. It helps to move us in that direction. But it's only all happening now. We don't have to do future visualization work. We don't have to do brain retraining. We don't have to do that. We just have to take our power back now. Give ourselves what we want now. Feel those feelings now. Because you may, in your future visualizations or your brain retraining, may go through this whole thing. You know, you're walking along a beach, you're doing this, you're smelling this, you're tasting this, you're retraining your mind, you're doing a visualization. What would it be like, you know, a few years from now when you have the perfect life that you want, and you're imagining it and you're calling it into being. And this is all great, right? You're calling it into being. You can see it, you're visualizing it, you're pulling yourself into elevating your emotions, elevating your thoughts, but the feeling comes now. So you don't have to go through all that. You can just give yourself the feeling of happiness, joy, contentment, ease, health right now, which is what the end goal of all that future dream life that you want to manifest. All of that is you just want to be happy, at peace, content, feeling good, joyful, traveling, like whatever it is that you want a feeling. You want to feel good. You want to feel vibrant, energetic, loved, happy, joyful. These are the states that whatever you envision in the future, whatever you want to manifest, whatever you're going toward, it's not the thing, it's the state of the feeling that you're going to get. Just like in the past, it's like these terrible down feelings, right? Low vibrations. You don't want that anymore, so you're trying to change that so you can have a better vibration. Or sometimes when you're doing, manifestations or you're even doing work, you might go back to a past memory that's beautiful and wonderful and try to make that grow in your mind. It's not because you need to think about that past moment, it's because you want to feel it now. So you can just bypass everything. You can bypass all of this work if you understand what the reason behind every single healing modality is. And it's to get you to the state of the feeling of a healthy, healed person, which is joy, love, peace, ease, confidence, creativity, fun, joy, laughter, like feeling connected and whole. So that is the state that you want to attain, and it's happening now. So you can do all that past stuff to get you to that point. You can do all the future work to get you to that point. But if you can remember that we only have now, we only have the present moment. It's just like, what are you putting your attention on right now? Okay, are you putting on your attention on the thing that makes you feel bad, or the thing that's wrong, or the thing that's not going right? Because you are only going to get more of that. That's a possibility that just keeps coming up, and it keeps coming up, much like triggers in trauma. Because rather than do the old pattern, which is focus on it, give attention to it, sink into it, complain about it, get into victim consciousness and sink down and think it's never going to change. We have the opportunity to change right here in the present moment what we think, how we react, what our pattern is. And so instead of doing the same old thing, when something in our reality is that we don't like it, we don't want it, don't do the same old things you used to do. Don't look at it, don't feed it, don't give it attention, don't sink down, like do something different, go the opposite way. Now, give yourself love, joy. Focus on what you do want. Focus on what can bring you joy in the present moment. And it doesn't have to be future visualization, because what can make you feel just a little bit better right now? Like authentically. We don't have to imagine and create something and pretend to be delusional. Like, I am healed, I am healthy, like I feel wonderful, and create this whole visual that is not true. Just elevate your state in the moment to something that feels better, that feels more at ease, that feels more joyful, that feels more happiness. Rather than focus on it, can you distract yourself with a happy show? That's not inauthentic. That is truly in the present moment, putting your attention on something that's better. Or can you eat something that you love? Or immerse yourself in an activity that makes you feel better than lamenting on the couch and sobbing. Can you focus on, can you go for a walk? Can you do something that you wouldn't normally do that is not feeding the patterns that you've created that have this illness alive and well? Can you feed health? How can you feed health in the present? Right here, right now. How can you feed the healthiest parts of you? The happiest parts? How can you feed joy? How can you find love? How can you find ease? What feels a little more comfortable? what feels better, what feels good, right? Even if you can't feel it, can you, right? Don't focus on the fact that you can't feel it. Just, it doesn't even have to be, sometimes we can make great leaps towards something and we can feel it, and then we're in the energy of it and we're snowballing, we're going forward, we're making leaps. But sometimes if like reality isn't catching up to what we want, but we're still turning slightly, right? We're turning our sails, right? We're not like, the course is still going, as long as we're headed in the right direction, because we're focusing on now, here in the present moment. Self-love, care, peace, joy, all of the things that we say we want in our life when we're healed. Doesn't matter what activity we do, that's not the point. The activity's not the point. The thing that we do isn't the point. The point is, how can we get us closer to the feeling of health? Because the more we can get a little closer to that feeling, the more we manifest it, the closer we get to it. We're turning, we're going toward, we're moving, and sometimes it's slow, sometimes it feels like it's not coming, but it is. You trust that this reality is yours. You're the only conscious awareness in your reality. So what you think, feel, the emotions that are in your body, whatever's happening is a manifestation of your thoughts and emotions and feelings. And so when we start to change things that we do and think and say, and the way we are showing up, the way we're being, when we call back our power, when we grow our confidence, when we start to act as if, when we start to do these things, and these techniques are great, past and future are great, like all of the stuff that makes you feel better now is great. But if it doesn't help you now, if it doesn't make you feel better now, then just do something that makes you feel better now. Go read a book, go watch a TV show, go talk to somebody, like anything. If it's not working, if your tools are not working, just do anything that makes you feel a little bit better right now, that makes you feel happier, that makes you feel more at ease, that makes you feel more confident, that makes you feel closer to health. This is what we're going for. This is what we want. This is the vibration. This is the energy. This is how you heal. You heal in the present. So yes, there's tools. There's always tools, right? We can meditate in the present. We can breathe in the present. There's yoga in the present. There's present tool work too, as well as past and future. And that's the thing about our imagination, our minds, the fact that we are the creators of our own world. We can go anywhere. We can go to the past. We can go to the future. We can be in the present. Like if the present's not working for you, go to the future. Right? If the present isn't working for you, if you can't get any of your grounding tools in the present moment to work, then go think of an awesome memory in the past and put your mind there instead, or think of a memory in the future, or like something that you want to call into creation. Don't stay where it's the worst. Go to where it's better. You can go anywhere. You can go past, present, future, go in whatever realm you want to. So use your imagination, create what you want, focus on what you want, feel the feelings you want. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard not to get tripped up by the reality of pain and symptoms. But if you stay focused on pain and symptoms, you're going to grow pain and symptoms. That's just how it works. You can't stay riveted to them. You can't put your mental, emotional, and psychological focus on them, because it's only growing them. And even though it's hard to stop and sometimes impossible, it's not impossible, because people heal all over the world, and they do that by going in a direction that feels better. And sometimes it comes in the form and the guise of all these different tools and different work, healing methods and work that they do. Right? It could come in the form of diet, but they're just really immersed in feeling better as they're eating these foods, believing it, trusting in the process, cooking, like they're raising their vibrations, they're raising their energies in the moment. And that's still always how healing happens. So I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope, you're starting to see that it all comes down to this present moment, and that all the tools are important, but they're all important as they relate to the present. And you can't focus on what you don't want in the present constantly and only do a future visualization for 15 minutes a day and think that that's going to heal you, because it won't. You have to take your present self that is consumed with what you don't want, and you have to find a way to break those patterns and behaviors and thoughts, and you have to find a way to shift mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to focus on what you do want. And you can do anything in order to get that emotion vibration. You could go have a shower, you could take a nap, you could read a book, anything. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be a healing modality, or it could be, doing all these healing modalities makes you feel a little bit better. So then great, do them. But it's always happening here. It's always happening now. Stop reacting and responding and focusing on what you don't want. Turn off the news. Unsubscribe from all the things that work you up or put your mind in a state that you don't want to be in, right? Or worry you or stress you. Stop hanging out with the people who lower your vibration and you're arguing with and aren't working for you. Don't talk about your symptoms. Don't talk about your illness. No matter how much sympathy and comfort that you may want from talking about it, you're just growing it. Don't do it. You should only be focusing on health. You should only be telling yourself you're healthy. You should only be, if you need a release, great, then release. If that release by talking about it or journaling about it or whatever makes you feel better because you got it out, and then you actually feel better in the moment, and that's what you need to do because you need to cry, you need to scream, you need to have your emotions, then do that. Feel it if the release is going to help raise your vibration in the present moment. Do whatever you can that changes your present moment, that makes you feel better, think better, right? Mind, body, heart, soul, whatever you can do to change things physically or emotionally or mentally, then you are going, whatever it is, do it. Don't stay sinking in quicksand, unable to do anything. Shift something. You're a powerful, magical being. Use your mind, use your heart, use your imagination, your visualization, your past memories, your future memories. Do whatever you have to do. Eat a certain diet. Use your physical body. Move it in a certain way. Do anything and everything that you can do. You are a powerful being. You are going to be able to create your reality. You are creating your reality. You are manifesting what's happening in your life. And even if that's hard to hear, you can manifest what you want in your life. So focus on what you want. Call into being what you want. Put your energy where you want. Your emotions on what you want. And everything will eventually follow. It's not going to be quick, but it happens. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.